Hello, I'm Reina, and I'm a League of Legends player. I've been playing for 6 or 7 years, and I've been silver for quite a long time. In my first rank season, can you guess what rank I was? Bronze. Definitely bronze. I don't know either, but it definitely wasn't above bronze. My friend, however, got into the game like a year ago, and he's been working really hard on getting better. He set himself the goal of hitting Diamond because League of Legends is the perfect kind of game for him. It has the complexity and mechanics and macro that he just rarely enjoys in a game. He loves the idea of sitting down and collaborating with strangers for 30 minutes at a time to be able to win something together. I think he's really gonna like the voice chat. Joy, League of Legends is your textbook perfect game, isn't it?
No, not quite.
You like League of Legends, don't you?
It's like it's very interesting, I'd say. I wouldn't necessarily say I always like the experience of playing it.
Well, you like it when games mix complex and simple features, so you have to focus on a lot of different things at once, don't you?
No, I definitely prefer games that are like simpler. I think how complex League is, and it being like the first game I've played that's probably this complex, has been a very interesting experience, but like is a bit strong.
Oh, well, you like the idea of working together with strangers for a single game to collaboratively try to win, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say like sometimes it feels like herding sheep. Sometimes it feels like reading the room and just trying to match what my teammates are doing. Occasionally, like I'll say something and they listen, but I don't think I'm at the level where that sort of teamwork is super rewarding.
A lot of people in our group play a lot of League of Legends, and so when he started, lots of people tried to tell him lots of different things at once. So I gave him my 2 cents. And I'm pretty stupid. But he's also pretty stupid, so that's something that we have in common. And because of that, he was able to understand me. And from that, I was able to understand him and know what to tell him. Basically, everyone else was overloading him with information, or telling him information that wasn't going to affect his game that much, because he was lacking the fundamental that came alongside it, that I knew because I've been playing for a lot longer. And when I told him things, he spoke to me and he told me that I was the best coach, and he said that I had a lot of game knowledge, which I think I do. And he asked me, did you want to start a project where you see where I can get with your help from your macro knowledge? Because the thing about my friend is he's consistently very good mechanically at the games that he plays. He won't agree with me, but he is. At least compared to me. And so we're putting micro and macro together and seeing what rank we can get to. Seeing if it's truly true what the high elo players say, that you only need to get your macro better, that your micro doesn't need to be better. I've been convinced for a while now that I have a lot of macro and I really am missing sufficient micro, so I want to test. So I agreed to it and we start working together. But at that time, he played Tryndamere. And I don't know enough about Tryndamere. He was also worried because some of the others told him that Tryndamere does well in low elo and then stops doing very well as you get higher. He wanted a champion that could function at his elo and higher. So I suggested looking at a hypercarry in the same line that he was already landing. I suggested Gwen, because I knew a little bit about Gwen, enough to help him out enough. So he switched. At first, when I was helping him, I felt very rusty. I got stuck on things in VOD reviews for quite a while. I'll look at it and think, what's going on here? What do I need to be thinking about? What should he be thinking about? But I would slowly reason out the possibilities and figure out what I thought was right. But that didn't come with no doubts. Of course it came with doubts, because I'd never been past silver. And the best players I knew of, or even knew, would always say, mechanics is not the issue, you need to get better at macro and understanding the game in different ways. But I was starting to not really believe it, as I was seeing the things that I was telling him were seeming to work, but I was still a wee bit worried that they would only function at a low elo, and that he was going to get stuck at the same place that I was stuck at. Maybe a bit tired because he's better at mechanics, but I didn't want him to get stuck because of me. So I leveled up a new account, because I might have played too much Zeri Top on my main account, and my main account might have had plus 14 LP gains, so for it not to take so long, it was actually quicker to make a new account and see what rank I got on that. And I got very quickly into Plat. I was very impressed with myself. I was playing Gwen too, since I'd been watching so much of his Gwen gameplay. It let me know the damage without actually being playing that much at that point in time. And then I started to do not so well, because at first, I was stomping everybody, because I was a lot better than a silver or gold player. But when I was getting emeralds in my game, I think I was quite close to the same skill level as a lot of them, and so I wouldn't do so well. And when I would do things like miss my Malphite toads, which I still don't know how I managed to do that 3 times in a single game, my teammates would flame me. I would think that everything was my fault. But I made it to Emerald. Almost. My last game to Emerald, I was 12-5, and I had 3/4 of my team's kills, which meant that my whole team was negative, and there was not really much I could do that game. But that was fine. I should have still made it to Emerald. Unfortunately, I kept queuing, because I thought that I deserved the rank, and that I'd already earned it. And I was punished for that with a loss streak, because I was not all there. But my friend has something that I don't have. My friend is Korean.
Shibal. Bal. Familiar. Shibal.
And he doesn't rage queue. So while I was now at Plat 2, he was still steadily progressing his skills. But there was a big roadblock that he hit, which I won't talk about too much, because I think he plans on making his own video about his experience, so I'll focus on mine. At the start of this year, after he's played for about a year, something incredible happened. He had almost reached my peak of Plat 1, 94 LP, but I saw on his graph that he started to slow down, and I was wondering why. I didn't really think I could help him too much, because he was right up where I was, but he asked for a VOD review, and so I tried my best, and I gave him a VOD review, and something incredible happened. I got this feeling that I hadn't had for a very long time, not since I rapidly rushed into Plat after being silver for years. I felt like I was proving myself again. I felt like I was proving that I had more knowledge than someone of my elo, because I was able to help him so well, so thoroughly, that the game after, he was playing in VC with me, and he was saying, "Oh my god, Reina, the thing you told me, I'm applying it and it's working so well." I was very happy, because he was about to overtake me, and that showed something about myself, that I had more in that aspect than most people would have thought. And to me, so far, it's looked like mechanics are actually quite important in the game, and that you really shouldn't neglect them, but you also shouldn't neglect macro. Both of them are incredibly important, but the basic fundamentals of macro, you should get those down before you focus on mechanics. That's my thoughts. I'm just a bit of a lost cause. I can't hit Malphite out. There is no hope for me at that point, right? But last night, something magical happened. My friend, who had been coaching for a year now, outpeaked me. And I think from this project, it's beautiful that's happened. He hit Emerald, somewhere I've never been, and I hope that he pushes and keeps doing this and hits Diamond, and it would be very cool if he goes further than that too. But I don't think he has that as a goal. I think if he set it for himself as a goal, he could hit any rank. But I don't think he wants to push hard after Diamond. And Joey, if you're listening, I'm proud of you, Joey. I really am. You're going places I never could. Congratulations.